All right, here's that second day stuff that I wanted to look at with you. Okay, notice now we have the variable also in the numerator as well as the denominator. We understand what to do to find our asymptotes. Okay, so the vertical asymptote is when you try to divide by 0, so you would set your denominator equal to 0 and solve that for x. So that's how we get negative c over d as the vertical asymptote. The horizontal asymptote we get from dividing a by c. Okay, eventually x is going to be really, really big or really, really small as the extremes. We know whether stuff is going on in the middle, but the extremes, well, when x is 1,000, okay, so maybe we have 3x plus 1 over 2x minus 7, okay? It's going to be not real pretty. But eventually, plus 1 doesn't make any difference, and the minus 7 doesn't make any difference. So really, you were looking at 3x over 2x, which we reduce, clean up to just 3 over 2. So that's why the coefficients A and C will make your horizontal asymptote. Not necessarily right in the middle, but we're looking at the extreme ends. Okay, I'm going to clean this up. Okay, then we're going to plot some points to the left and to the right of your vertical asymptote. Okay, we're also going to try to find a 0 from our numerator. Draw the two branches of the hyperbola. They should be in opposite quadrants, and I'm using that kind of generally because if you have moved your center because of your vertical and horizontal asymptotes, maybe the quadrants aren't real true. Okay? Maybe the quadrants have been shifted so that they reflect across the point your vertical and horizontal asymptote rather than across the origin. So we need to be careful of how we say that. But they are in opposite quarters, maybe would be a better word than quadrants. Okay, so let's take a look at this one. Okay, first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to say x cannot equal negative 2. That gives me my vertical asymptote. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to say, all right, the y equals 3 over 1 is my horizontal asymptote. Okay, that helped me. Now I'm going to find my zeros. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to say 3x minus 6 equals 0. So x equals 2. I did 2 steps there. I added 6 divided by 3. So x equals 2 is a 0. Okay? Now I think my two branches, we'll see if this works. I think my two branches will be this way and this way. And we'll check and see. Let's see what happens. I'm not 100% positive, but I'm quite sure. Okay, so when we pick x to be 2, we got 0 over 4. Okay, if we pick 1, we'll have negative 3 over 3, which is negative 1. 1, negative 1. If we put 0 in there, we're going to have negative 6 over 2 for negative 3. I think we're on track here. Okay, now I'm going to do that counting thing I showed you before. Okay, so from the point these intersect, can't do that. From this point they intersect, it looks to me like we're going over 4, down 3. So that's a product of 12. So for my next ones, I think if I get a product of 12, that could be 6 and 2, 2, 4, 6, 2, or what would be 9 and 2 or 4/3. Okay, I think I got it looking like this. And we could do the same thing here. From this point where the vertical and horizontal asymptote cross, I want 12. So 4, 3, 3, 4, and I don't have a whole lot of room. I think that's what it's going to look like. Please realize you can also graph this. Okay, if I were to go to Desmo's graphing calculator, and I hope I can remember that. Okay, so I've got y equals, my numerator was 3x plus 6, right? And my denominator was x minus 2. No, x plus 2. I got them switched. Plus 2, and the numerator was a minus 6. Look at there. Okay, and if we were to put in the x equals -2, see how that's a vertical asymptote, and y equals 3, there's my horizontal asymptote. I can pull this in so we can see it better. Very much verifies what we just had looked at. All right, questions on how we did that? Okay, so we drew in our asymptotes, found them and drew them in. We plotted some 2 points to the left and to the right and found a 0. And we sketched the 2 branches. We checked it by looking on Desmos. Okay, here's another one. Let's practice this. Okay, so x cannot equal -1. So here's my vertical asymptote. In my horizontal asymptote, I'm going to have y would equal -3/1. So now it's down here. Okay, so I found my vertical and horizontal asymptotes. We're going to find a 0, so we're going to set the numerator equal to 0. So I'll get 2 equals 3x because I'll work with positives. And it looks like my 0 is at 2/3. Okay, so when x is 2/3, y is 0. And then I'm going to try to find some points. I'm switching colors so I can see this better. Okay, if I put 0 in for x, I'm going to get -3 over, 2/1, or 2, so I got 0, 2. And actually, that is now enough for me to decide, okay, my product, this way I moved, and I'm going to switch my magic pen again. This way I went 1 and 5. So 1 times 5 is 5. So now I could find other values where I get 5. So I can go 5 and 1. I can go 2 and 1/2 and 2. Right? This is 1 1/2 and 2/3. Okay? So I'm going to have this branch. And then I still need to do the 5 here. So this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. And I got to have a little more room. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's going to end up being here. And I'm going to do that 2 1/2 and 2. Or 2 and 2 1/2. And I got my branches. Okay, let's check this one. So I got to remember 2 minus 3x over x plus 1. Okay, equals 2 minus 3x divided by x plus 1. Okay, now our asymptotes, remember this would be at -1, and this was at, what was it, -3, isn't it? See how that branched out? And we can still count, so from here to here, okay, that moved over 1 and up 5. This one, it moved over 1 and 2/3 and up 3. Okay, this was a 2. Okay, not quite. Can't quite get there. There we go. It went over 2 and up 2 1/2. And the same thing happened this way. So that product is 5. All right, gives you an idea how to do these. Okay, this was kind of a cool little problem. Your landline long distance calls, nobody uses them anymore, but we still have a good math skill here, has a fixed monthly cost, or fixed monthly fee, excuse me, of $4.95 and costs 5 cents a minute. My parents still use their landline to make long distance calls because McCluskey really is almost the middle of nowhere. Okay, so you write an equation that gives your average cost, C, in dollars per minute, M. So when you find your average cost per minute, you're going to take the whole cost. So the whole cost would be the $4.95 plus 5 cents per minute, and I had to write it in cents. But then you divide it by the number of minutes. Okay? Do you see how that is helping you? Now, do you have to consider negative minutes? No, you don't. Okay? So what is going to happen is if you can't use it 0 minutes. So if you use it 1 minute, it's going to cost $5. Okay? It's going to cost $5. And 5 divided by 1 is 1. So if you use it, okay, I'm going to jump to 11 minutes. Do you understand why? Okay, because then I will get 550 divided by 11. And, okay, and this is $5 per minute. So this is my cost. This is minutes, not X, sorry. So that cost is $5 per minute. But now at 11, now it jumped down to 50 cents per minute. Right, just to give you an idea of what's happening. Okay, so now it says estimate when the average cost is 14 cents. Well, C is your cost per minute. Okay? C is the cost per minute. So, maybe it'll let me do this. I want that to be 14 cents, right? I think that's what it was. Oh, I got an extra 0 in there. Okay. I'm going to do the algebra. I'm not going to graph that. Okay. It's 14 cents. Yeah, I was right. Okay, so I'm going to multiply to get that out of the denominator. Put that 0 out now. Solve it for M, so I'm going to subtract 0.05 M, so I'm going to have 0.09 M equals 495. And to solve that for M, I got to divide out your 0.09. And that became, all right, I got to do that one. Okay, 495 divided by 9 cents. That became 55. So if you use it for 55 minutes, then you have 14 cents per minute. Okay, so if we were to graph this, it's going to start at 1, and then this would be $5. And the more you use it, the cheaper it's going to get. And again, we could graph this on Desmos and take a look again. So this one would become, that was what? I want to delete that, sorry. Okay, and I could delete these too. There we go, okay. We got to use Y equals 495 plus 0.05x divided by x. Now this side of the branch makes no sense, so we could just do this. But do you see where with 1 minute or 1 minute of calls, we're at, okay, come on, $5. But what happens when it's 4 minutes? Okay. Your average cost is $1.30 per call. Over here, 12 minutes, it's now 46 cents per call. When we're at 18, it is now 32 cents per call. Alrighty, so that reflects what we had already kind of guessed. The more minutes you use it, the cheaper it is per minute. Doesn't mean it's cheaper for you to pay for it, it's just cheaper per minute. Okay, so now kind of a summary. What does the graph of Y equals A over X minus H plus